For the WWE title match alone, that was amazing. Just to see Rollins and Cena in the main event too. But the rest of the card, it wasn't bad. Rusev and Ziggler was the only lackluster match in the entire show. All the other matches weren't great, but they were good, and it was a good SummerSlam. Not terrible by any stretch. Not as good as some other years, but definitely just being there live was a hell of an experience, and it was great to be able to be there. But before we close off here, I forgot to mention this during the WWE title match discussion, but we might as well mention it now because we were talking about it last night and this morning. Sting is now the new number one contender to the WWE Championship come Night of Champions. So, RJ, you had a lot of thoughts on this, and you made a good point. I forgot to text you back, but I saw your text about the Triple H, maybe facing Rollins at Survivor Series. But before you even get to that, though, what are your thoughts on Sting being named the new number one contender to the WWE title come Night of Champions?
I think it makes no sense at all. He hasn't done anything to deserve a title match, and it makes no sense that he's coming back for Triple H and the Authority, because they literally fought at WrestleMania. Triple H beat him, and then they shook hands after the match, and then he left the next night, and then randomly appears again a couple months later. Now he's after the Authority again, which makes no sense because he already made up with Triple H after the match at WrestleMania. And then just because he came back last night and ruined his ceremony, how does that just justify him getting a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match?
The thing was that I thought it was a cool moment, but the thing was, and I was about to text you too, but then I didn't watch the post-match announcement until after I saw your text, because I figured, okay, Sting wants a WWE Championship. Makes sense. But Triple H could use the logic next week on Raw saying, I beat you at WrestleMania, what have you done to deserve a title match? And then he'll do something to get it, I don't know. But they could have used that logic saying, because they're heel authority figures, so they're not going to grant him a title match off the bat. They could have just said, what have you done to deserve a title match? But, you want the title, so I'm not going to give you that championship until you deserve it, or a title match until you deserve it. But before I could even tell you that, they confirmed it right on the after show on the network that they are facing off in Night of Champions for that belt, because Triple H says that he wants Seth Rollins to end him, which is kind of a cop-out answer. That doesn't really make much sense. I'm hoping we get more answers next week on Raw. That's kind of putting too much faith in WWE Creative, which is, infamous for not really making much sense to begin with. It's a big get for Night of Champions. It's awesome that Sting's going to be on the show, but yeah, not even that when Triple H beat Sting, the fact that he lost, but just even the post-match stuff, like you said, when he shook hands with Sting made absolutely no fucking sense at all, especially considering all these months later. They had to at least think they were going to cross paths at some point, Triple H and Sting, that is. And, even the match, it's not, like you said, from a storyline standpoint, for Sting to be going after the title makes no sense. Or at least I know he wants the title, but for him to be granted a title match, rather, makes no sense. But then you go back to Survivor Series, and then earlier this year when he came back right before the Rumble, he does have history with Seth Rollins, so you can kind of play off of that, and it was a match a lot of people wanted to see at WrestleMania, maybe even over Triple H. So, I don't have a problem with that, but hopefully it's something that can be addressed next week on Raw. So, any more thoughts on the Sting Sting WWE Championship discussion?
I think it would have made, like you said, he has history with Rollins, but I think it would make more sense if the Authority was gone still, and that's the reason they're fighting to get the Authority back. But because that's really the only time him and Rollins really had any beef was because he caused Rollins to lose and the Authority lost. Besides that, him and Rollins really haven't had any interaction. But I just don't think Sting should be in a WWE title picture, and I think it's weird too because Sting hasn't won a match yet in WWE, so I don't think he should win the title, and I think another loss would make it look like it looks bad for him because he hasn't won anything since he's been back.
Yeah.
He should have won WrestleMania anyways, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, that one loss kind of fucked up everything for Sting going forward because he has to win his next match, and maybe he wins it by DQ. That would kind of feel anticlimactic, especially after all the non-finishes recently at all the recent pay-per-views. So I don't know what they're going to do. Like I told you via text, they could have Sting win, give him his moment, and give the belt right back to Rollins. Someone even mentioned, I was thinking of Hell in a Cell, but they could even very well do it at the fucking MSG show. They're doing on the network, the live special on early October 3rd or something like that. So they could very well do it then, give him a 2-week title reign, or do the next night on Raw. Sheamus cashing in, I don't want to see it. What the fuck can he do? Sheamus and Sting at Hell in a Cell or something? That would make no sense. I don't want to see Sting, Sheamus, and Rollins in a triple threat. That'd be so stupid. So No, I'd rather just see if Sting's going to get his big win. I'm fine with that. You just have to give the belt right back to Seth Rollins. I mean, I'd rather see him get one long reign, but if they have to do that, I'm fine with it, just to give Sting a win. And then maybe someone costs, Sting the win at MSG. Maybe it's Undertaker, but he's still doing the thing with Lesnar. I have no idea.